it's Rob and welcome to Axel's Garage. Alright, we finally got the kind of weekend that we needed to work on this, but it doesn't look like it's going to last long. So, last year, the heater core started leaking in the Big Dummies K5, and we did the old school trick with a pipe reducer and two pipe galvanized or black pipe, whatever they are, pipe nipples, and looped his heater hose together. And I'll show you that if anybody needs to do a quick heater hose repair, which doesn't fix the leaking heater core, but it does allow you to drive the truck. So it happened in the winter last year. His heater core started leaking. The carpet was soaked with coolant or antifreeze, depending on where you're from in the country, and so he wanted to keep driving it. He didn't care. He's only got a short commute back and forth to college, so he was fine going without the heat, except on those real cold days in which he took my truck. So what we did was we looped that together and we sort of band-aided it and said, okay, at least the coolant's not going into the heater core and leaking anymore. It's just looping through, and you can keep driving without losing too much coolant. And he drove like that for a considerable amount of time. So now I ordered the heater core. We just really never got around to doing it because it was nice out. We didn't need the heat, and there were things on our priority list. So now we had a few cold days. Already got the heat on in the house, and he kind of needs the heat. And I feel bad that he's driving with no heat. He puts up with it, but I'm sure he would like heat to have heat. So we said, well, let's get it done. And then every weekend we tried to do it. Of course, it was either really cold or rainy or both. And today's a nice Saturday, but because of all the crap that we had to do, we're getting a late start. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day. So what we want to do at least today is to get his heater box yanked out from under the dash, which is a freaking pain in the ass in these trucks. There's so much room in them, but yet they're so big and burdensome, and it's just a pain in the neck. So we're going to take you through the process. We tried to see if there were videos online that really covered this process. Some did, some don't. Some did better than others. I don't know. I kind of like the way I do them. Some people hate the way I do the videos. Some people say I talk too much. Like I should have started working already. But that's part of Axel's Garage, is listening to me blab and the banter between me and the kids and my wife, who's not here right now. So this should go a little smoother. Anyway, let me grab that camera. All right, and I'm going to take you over here and show you what we did. So we got right down in here, you could see the two, there they are, the two ends of the heater core where the heater hoses go on, right? You got your bigger one on the top and your small one on the bottom. One's the return, one's the gazinta. I don't know which is which. So what we did was we took a pipe, I guess this would be like some kind of reducer or increaser. Well, if it's falling that way, I don't know. Anyway, it changes it from like 3/4 to, well, no, this is big to little, and then we put another one over here to make it this size so that we could fit it into the heater core. Anyway, we just took a bunch of pipe parts we had laying around, one that would fit into this one that would fit into this one, so we could put it together, put some clamps on it, and all it does is create a loop, bypasses the heater core completely, and you could drive around. He's been driving around for probably the better part of a year, like this, with no leaks. So inside this beauty, we have a massive glove compartment with not a lot of stuff in it. Look at that. You see, this is a guy, right? What does he have? He's got his insurance card and registration. He's got some shop paper towels and some antacid and some aspirin, Tylenol, and Advil. Yep, that's and some Band-Aids. He does have some Band-Aids in there. Alright, so this is completely a guy's glove compartment. If it was my wife, it would be filled. There would be 6 pairs of sunglasses. There would be lip balm, makeup, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, this has got to come out. So the plastic over here bends down until it's all the way down. It unscrews from the bottom screws coming along here. If you can't take the glove compartment out, I'm sure a heater core would be way too advanced for you. Also, what's going to come out is he's got a magnetic church key, which probably isn't the greatest thing to have. He's got a ashtray with a bad spring, and it always plops down. So maybe when we get this sucker out, we could figure out what the deal is with the spring and why it's not staying up. This is going to have to come out also, because we're going to have to get back there to disconnect the lines. And what I mean by the lines is up in here you got your selector and your hot and cold. Those both run on cables. Those cables go to the heater box, and you got to get those cables off and try not to break stuff. So let me see if I can set the tripod up in the best spot, and we'll start yanking this glove compartment out and getting everything out. Alright, so even though we're going to be doing this interior over little by little, I want to destroy as little as possible. And I'm using my new Milwaukee, what is this? This is the Milwaukee M12 3.0 electric ratchet. And we'll probably use a couple clips from this video on the review that we're doing on this Milwaukee. So a 7mm ratchet, and we'll pull out the alright, so that's 4 going across the bottom. Alright, and that glove compartment comes completely out, and you can put it over and out of the way. There's also this piece of duct in here which probably should be connected to something, and it's not. It doesn't look like it's in the greatest shape either, so we'll figure out where this is supposed to go. Oh, it's supposed to go right to this vent. Oh, okay, there's a hard plastic vent right behind here that ends, and then it attaches to this one here, and this one will go right behind there, and it just fell off. So a lot of times with these, if they're not in too bad a shape, you could pretty much duct tape them or use flex tape or something like that. I'm kind of liking the flex tape. If it wasn't so expensive, I use it more often. Alright, so this is the giant box right here. I don't know if you could see it on camera. I'll move the camera, but that's the thing that's going to have to come out. So let's see what else we have to remove. Alright, right above this piece here is that plastic duct, right, that this attaches to. I'm going to get that out of the way just to and of course it's not the same size, but I'm going to get that out of the way just to make it easier to see what we're dealing with back here. I don't know if that necessarily has to come out. This blazer is an 89, and the thing that sucks about the 80s GM could have used pretty much anything when it comes to standard or metric or anything like that. Okay, but I can't see enough to get it out. Let's see how we get this. Alright, so it looks like I got a little better camera angle here. Having a lot of trouble seeing. I think it's just age. Alright, so we are going to take out, I took a screw out from this side. Now I'm going to take this screw out. Am I on camera? Hey, how you doing? I'm going to take this one out here, and this might be enough for the glove compartment to come out, and maybe I could see a little better back there. Really, the way I'm attacking this is trying to, there's the little doohickey. I'll show you when I get it out where the spring is supposed to go. I don't know where it goes on the other end. I got 2 little screws up there. This little Milwaukee thing's kind of neat. I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it. It's a little awkward at first, but it does work really well. That screw fell. There it is. Alright, so I got that screw now. And now this is a whole housing. That looks like it's going to be a pain in the ass to get out as well. Okay, I see what this is hitting. There is another hard plastic duct that goes from right behind the glove compartment, it looks like, all the way across. Anybody who's ever done a radio on one of these knows you got to pop that out to get out under the radio. So the bottom of the steering column, let me move the camera. Alright, so right under the steering column there's another panel. There's a metal panel, and that metal panel is what you got to get out to get that plate. So I tilted the wheel up, moved the camera around a little bit. So you got this panel right here. There's two long interior style Phillips head screws, and then you got one little screw, you know, like a 7mm head like everything else. That one is actually going into the plastic duct. Here's the plastic duct that I'm talking about. So you pull that one out. That's a little baby one. Real short. Am I on camera? Real short. Right, and then that loosens this, but then you got this little collar here. That's plastic that's above the, below the steering column. It's a trim piece, you know, to trim off the bottom of the steering column. Alright, so you gotta pull those screws out. You know, like anybody else, when I started this, when I knew I had to do this, I kept putting it off and procrastinating, but I was on YouTube looking at videos, and, you know, some of them were good, some of them weren't good, but a lot of them left out all these things and just said, well, you got to take everything apart. Well, it really doesn't help a whole lot. And you sort of got to figure it out as you go, really, as far as what you got to take out. We know what we got to access. We got to access that box. So until we got enough stuff off where we can see the controls for that box and the you know, those cable controls, and disconnect them, and we could see, so now this slid right back down. This can probably stay in place. This is a two-part thing, but we can pop it out so that we can see this is the bad boy we got to get out. So let me throw that stuff in the back seat, and so this one pops off of the vent that's right over here, and it pops off of that end also, and you sort of gotta just bend it around and pull it out. You can see this end here. This is what I was talking about. That goes into that box that I tried to get off in the middle. So now with that out, we should be able to see behind the glove compartment a little better. So let's move the camera back like that, move my flashlight, and let's see if we can get this freaking ashtray out. Alright, so the ashtray has got a housing, and I don't, it's almost like you can't push it back. Oh, I'll push it back and then down. Oh, And then, look at this. Okay. Alright, getting there. Alright, there's wires hooked on the back. Alright, so I got a little nylon pushy dicky. Alright, let's see if we can pop that off without breaking it. Okay, so you pop the wires out of it. Alright, that like catches the wires. That's a weird looking one. Alright, and then what do we got? We have a plug that goes in the back of the cigarette lighter. And then we have this. Is this some kind of fiber optic light, it almost looks like? That is strange, but that pops out. That's a little plastic too. It looks like it might have been... Could it have been a light socket? Or some kind of fiber optic light? That's really weird. I don't know what that is. Look at that. Can you see that on camera? I don't know what that is. Huh. It was some type of light originally. Alright, so we got all this out. Okay, you got this vent, that's where the plastic one went into. You see right in here, which is the lower one over here, not the upper one. I was trying to get the upper one off. So I got 2 screws on the bottom here for the lower one. So let's pull that lower one out and let's see if that will help us. And of course, it's a different freaking size again. Alright, so I've been using a 7mm, a Phillips head, and this one, which is a 5/16. Definitely hooked on top. So now I'm feeling for screws. What you don't want to do with this, and you don't need to be an automotive genius to figure that out. Alright, so this top piece that I undid the screw to, not only goes to this vent, but it goes up to the defrost vents. What you don't want to do is force some of this old plastic, because a lot of it's brittle, a lot of it'll break on you. So if it's not coming out, it's either hung up on something or you missed, okay, something. So a little wiggle is really all it needed. Alright, and alright, that came out, and here's what I was talking about. It's going onto this, right, which is a flapper door. It's going up into the ducting, and it's going over into the ducting. And actually, the foam around it is in decent shape. It's just dirty as hell from, you know, almost, I don't know, how old? 30 years? Yeah. Yeah, it's about 30 years. This is an 89. What are we in? We're almost out of 2019. This is 30 years. Alright, so now we see right back behind the ashtray, there's another one of those nuts that is holding the ductwork up for, I guess, some of the defroster ducting. So that's got to come off. Hopefully it's the same size. Can't see shit. Okay, so after looking at it a little bit more, alright, this bottom piece, there's a nut there, right behind Robbie's little thing here. Alright, so let's see if we can get that off. So, So I got that little nut guy off, and this can come down. This is your heat. Oh man, everything is so dirty. No wonder like cars really start to smell after a while. A lot of duct work. All right. So now the only thing left is to separate this bottom part from, can you see in here? I hope you can see this. Right behind the glove compartment, there's an upper part that goes to the upper vents, and there's a lower part which is part of your giant box. There's a screw in there, and I'm having trouble getting that screw out. It looks like it's a 5/16 head. Definitely a 5/16 head, but it's spinning, but it's not coming out. So let me see if I can maybe get a knife behind it to just pry some pressure as I spin it and get it to back out. Oh, and that worked. All right, that did work. All right, so got that screw to back out. Now the upper duct is completely disconnected from the big heater box. All right, and we got this upper duct which doesn't seem like it comes out. No, this goes like up. Oh, it goes up to this one. We got a high AC duct. That's where this one goes. So this is just gonna constantly be in our way. Wonder if we could pop it off of the back of that. Oh, I don't know if we're ever gonna get this out. Let's see. See if we can do a little wiggling. It'd be great to get that upper AC duct out. That would solve a lot of problems. And if we could get this upper duct out, it would make it so much easier. But there's like no room on that end. So we're just gonna have to deal with it. Okay, so we got everything off of the heater box. This isn't on the heater box, this is just in the way. But everything is off of the heater box now. So really what we need to do is see if we could, I don't know if we're gonna be able to disconnect the cables. Where are the cables? The cables are way back and they're high. So I think our next step is going to have to be to go in the engine compartment and get the bolts for the engine compartment. I'll show you where they are. All right, so on the top of the heater box, you could see right in the back. Let me see if I get a light for you. You can see right in the back on the top, there's one of the cables there. And I believe the other cable is going to be right over there where that spring doohickey is. Okay, but they're real tough to get your hand up, and there's no way you're gonna get the clip off of them without breaking something. So it's gonna be, let's get the bolts out. So you see, just beyond that red plastic clip that's retaining the cable, there's a bolt. Can't hold everything and point at the same time. But if you look all the way up top, just beyond that red plastic, you'll see what should be like, it's the back end of a stud is what it is. So you got a round little metal piece, right? And down on the bottom here, right, you got the same thing right here. So that's actually what you're looking for, is that. So there's one here, there's one over here, okay? And what these are, they're studs that are in the box, this box that we're taking out, and they go through the firewall. There's a nut on the firewall side. So that's what we were looking for up top. There's one up top. All right, I'll show you it again. All right, so it's just beyond and above to the right of that red plastic thing that's retaining the cable. So those are your three. So now you got to go in the engine compartment, and you got to identify them. I believe they're like 7/16. All right. So you got your easy one. Right up top is your easy one. right, which is right here. And then you got one right below it, right, on this, down the side of your AC box. So you remove your air thingy, and you should get it. And then you got one hidden that's down there. So a long extension, maybe a swivel or something like that, and a deep socket you get on it. This one here, right, that one right here, that's a bolt coming through this way, which doesn't apply to us. We're not taking this box off. This box is for the AC. It's not coming off. And that's it going in that way. You notice we had 3, and there were studs that are coming through this way. So that's what we got to get at. So really the right way to do this is to start with the hardest one, which is going to be the lower left down under the that AC thing. Is it the condenser? Evaporator? I don't know. Whatever it is. The silvery candy looking thing. So we get that one, and then we come over and get this lower one, which you can see once we get all the hoses out of the way, and then you get the easy bad boy right there. So that should loosen the box on the inside, and we should be able to pull it back from the firewall and bring it down enough to get those any vacuum hoses or cables or electrical connections off. Alright, so I'm out here again. I got a collection of extensions, a swivel ratchet, some deep sockets. I think it's going to be a 7/16. And I got some PB blasters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bad boy out of the way. I guess I got to take the whole air cleaner off to get it out of the way. I got to put the camera down again. Hold on. Alright, so I got the air cleaner laying over on the side over there. And now you can see that bolt, and the other bolt is directly below it under this box here, which I can't get on camera, but maybe I can. Let's see. Let's go for a walk down here. So that's the box, right? Alright, that's under the box. Should be right there. It is right there. Okay, so that's the other bolt, and then the other bolt is going to be on this side. Should be in that area somewhere. Maybe you could see it on camera. I can't see it right now. Look, oh wait, there it is. So that's your other one there. So they're on either side of this box on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that with some PB blaster because they are pretty rusty. So there's our top one. Right, so I'll hit that with some PB, and I'm going to hit the bottom two with some PB blaster and make myself a cup of coffee, I guess. And oh no, first we're going to check something. Hold on, let me hit this with PB blaster. I'll be right back. All right, so I hit that stuff with PB blaster. Sorry about the camera all over the place. I hit that stuff with PB blaster, and we'll let it sit while I make coffee. But while we got everything apart here, remember there's that door there, and I was a little concerned that the door wasn't open or shut, and I'm wondering if that one works on vacuum. We're going to redo the interior in this Blazer, but I'm not going to want to take any of this shit apart again, so we're better off troubleshooting it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the truck up. Alright, and let's see if that door is moving at all. So if I go to heat, alright, I don't see that door moving. Oh. What is that music? Big Dummy? Big Dummy's back home from work, eating as usual. And he was coaching all day today. Did you win? Score?
27-7.
27-7. Who'd you play?
Hewlett.
Hewlett, nice. All right. So we're trying to figure out if that door is supposed to move or not. See that door there, dummy? Right. That door right there.
Yeah?
Yeah, that one there. Okay, so you need to go in and sit in the driver's seat. All right, so we're going to get set up for this one. Yeah. So this is taking air and it's putting it into that thing that went up. Right, so that would be all the way. So if you go to defrost, all the way to the right. You're on defrost?
Yep.
So this should open it up all the way, I would think. Here, so it's definitely not moving. Try to go hot to cold. See what happens. Leave it on cold. Alright, so this door is not moving at all. Alright, so this door is on this thing here. So it goes there. See, that would be defrost. No, that would be sending it somewhere else. Should be sending it down to heat. Yeah. And then when you open it, it goes away. So that's where your heat is. So put the heat on it. You got it on heat? No, put it on heat on the top. Okay, you did that. I felt it, but it didn't move. It looks like it's adjustable, actually. It's a threaded rod on top. No, can you reach in the glove compartment and hold this up? So there is a rod that is definitely adjustable. All right, now go to defrost. Oh no, defrost. That's a different flapper. Okay, hang on. I'm screwy. This is AC. When this opens, it's putting it in the upper vents. The AC. Oh, that's AC. So turn the AC on. Go to like normal or max. Go to max. Oh, look at that. That it's opening. There it goes. It's pulling it. Okay. Go back to off. Turn it off. Look at that. Okay, so that's this jammy here that's popped out of the door. Oh, we're supposed to pull it in, so we got to get that back in the door. That's broken, that piece. That's why. So we need one of those clippy dickies. All right. So we're going to need a clippy dicky, and then this is just out of adjustment. Is all this is. This is out of adjustment. So the vacuum is for the AC. The heat, right? It's going to blow out of the. Oh, you put it on vent. Turn it on again. Put it on vent.
What's vent?
And vent pulls it open also. Okay. All right. So vent pulls it open. All right. So that's sending it up into the AC vents because now it's coming out of here. So go to max AC.
Max AC.
Go to normal AC. Okay, now go to defrost all the way over to the right. This should close all the way, and it doesn't because that's broken. Oh. Okay. Turn your heat from hot to cold or cold to hot, one way or the other. All right, so that's that one over there. Now, that's your hot and cold. So your top switch is vacuum, your bottom switch is hot and cold. All right, so we figured out what the problem is, that broken clip. All right, so we figured out what's wrong. Let me bring the camera down here. Actually, you know what? Set the car up again. I don't know how good I got it on camera as we were troubleshooting. So, all right, so this door here, right, when it closes, it is sending the air to the bottom vents or the top vents, right? So it sends the air this way. Oh, I'm off camera. Okay, so this door here, right, I'm all the way back? Okay, this door here, when it closes, sends the air this way. And when it goes this way, it's got to hit another diverter door. It's got to be in the box. That's either going to send it up to the defroster vents or down for the heat, at the bottom here. And what happens is when you open this door, it sends the air out here and then up into the upper vents, which is the AC vent. So you see this plastic clip that's broken? light, hang on. Bear with me, this ain't easy. Hang on. No, the heat don't work because there's no coolant going through the heater core because the heater core is leaking. Okay, so here's the door, here's the plastic piece that hooks up to whatever the vacuum control is, right? So now turn it to heat.
It's on heat.
It's on heat? No.
It's on hot.
It's on hot. Turn it to heat. Right? So the door closes, but this clip is supposed to be in the door, pulling it all the way closed. So now we got a massive leak going to the upper vents, which is killing your heat going to where the heat's going to be. So it's this clippy dicky that's broken that kills his airflow efficiency. I mean, everything still works if there was a heater core in place, but it's not sending the air where you want it to go. And where this really will be a factor, not so much the heat blowing out the bottom, because you'll get some heat through the vents, which if you don't like heat through the vents, which sucks because it blows in your face, but where it really kills it is the air going for the defroster. So if you want to defrost your windshield, you're losing a lot of air. There's a ton of air coming through here, where this actually should be closing tight like that. And now all of the air seals it off, and all the air goes either towards the heater, towards the defroster, wherever you have it set. It's supposed to be like this, and this plastic dicky is supposed to be in there, but it's not doing it because of the plastic dicky. It's staying partially open. But yet when he puts the vent on, see, it sucks in and it grabs it enough to open it. It's probably even not opening at all. It might be opening all the way for the AC in the vent, but it's that stupid plastic clippy probably just dried out over the years and cracked and came apart. So we'll have to try to figure that out. Maybe we can find one. In the meantime, we'll let that what do we call it? The penetrating oil. But I forgot the name of the penetrating oil I'm using. No, Presto. It's the stuff, you know, the PB Blaster. We sprayed some PB Blaster on the bolts to get this box out. And I'm gonna make a cup of coffee and we'll let the PB Blaster soak in and then we'll be right back. All right, so I fished around for that bottom one, actually blind, and I was able to find it. And it seems like it spun for a little bit and then it feels like it's off. Oh, it is. All right, so that one came off pretty easy. I hit it blind with the PB Blaster, and we got it. Now, Steve-O! All right, so now we got to get the other one that's on the bottom on this side. So I don't know if we're going to find it blind. Let's put another extension on. We're going to have to be like Plastic Man. This big heater hose is actually in the way a little bit. Take this heater hose and just get it out of the way like that. You want to hold this light down there like that, Robbie.
Want me to go under and see if I can get
I don't know if you can see it under.
I can feel it.
Oh wait, I could see it. That looks like it right there.
Is that Mark's or yours?
Mine.
Thought you hated the thing.
No, that's the other thing.
You got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Grab the nut. All right. So, just for reference, that bolt was like directly in line with the jack handle thingy. It was pretty much just below it and down. We're really gonna have to get it back on is gonna be a bitch to fish that back out. Let me see if I can come down this way. See if we can see it. Right back there. Should be able to see it on your screen. Alright, so those are off. Give the camera back to the big dummy. We'll get that top one off. Hopefully the top one comes off just as easy. And and we dropped the top one. So of all the work we did, we only dropped one. Back inside now. This box should be loose, right? If we got all the right.
Yeah, get your
bolts
hand in the gap, and then you just pull up and down and out.
down and out.
You have to find like the sweet spot.
Alright, we got it broken free on the bottom. Not on the top though. Alright, so that's that. This one here. The other one was a top one. There's no top one on this side. Oh, wait a minute. You know what I saw? Hang on. I saw a bolt right there. Yep. There's a bolt. On the right side, right in the middle. Of course, that ain't the size. Every bolt's got to be a different size always. A 10 millimeter, really? Oh man, 10 millimeter. So there is a 10 millimeter bolt.
I think that was in the video we watched.
Yeah?
Yeah.
10 millimeter bolt right on this side.
Because what were the other ones?
11/16.
Yeah.
Right, which it's a giant bolt, and it's going through. It's like a giant sheet metal screw. It's going through the heater core housing into something on the other side, but it's to hold the wire harness that's not there. So that's the other bolt probably. Now, lost our flashlight. Now, when we pull this bad boy down, it feels loose, but it's sort of like grabbing on the top. That top bolt's not moving at all. Let me go on the other side and maybe try to tap it a little. You know what I mean? So the two bottom ones are out. The top one is still like sort of hanging up there. But it seems like walking it a little bit back and forth is helping. I don't see it hung up on anything except for that back. Doesn't look like there's anything there. That should be stopping it from moving. Let me get a little hammer and give that a tap again. So I tapped that stud I tapped that stud from the other side with a hammer, and it definitely kicked it out at least a ½ inch. And there we go. Okay. So it was that top stud was hanging up on us. All right, now we have a mess of wires. All right, on top. All right, so with it down, you can see we got this is a vacuum line that's actually running through this pivot point, right? Then it runs back to here, and this is just a clippy dicky that looks like it's just holding the wires. So there's a bundle of wires bundled up top, going all the way behind the glove compartment. So all they are just clips that are bundling those wires and keeping them secure, and they're using the heater box as a place to secure them. So you got to break them free. This vacuum line, you got to figure out. I don't know if this T. It looks like we could separate it from the T. Maybe this vacuum line going through here, and then we got to get this little thing here. So I need a little flat blade screwdriver, and we should be able to pop off these clips. Let me get that little screwdriver. All right, so I'm going to try to get this little clip off. Man, these are some heavy duty clips that they used. All right, so that one's off. Open it. It's like a metal retainer. It's stuck. It's attached to the back of the heater box, and once you open it up, you could get the wires that were in it out, and the clip will stay on the heater box. We'll show you in better detail when we get the heater box out. Okay, now you got this vacuum line. Can you see that, Robbie?
Yeah.
All right, so you got this vacuum line that's running through here. I'm a little skeptical about pulling it out of this T because it goes inside the T. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get this, maybe get this clip off and take the wire off. These are one of those little, like, I call them a hat clip. It's a real pain in the ass to get off. They go on nice and easy though. You just push them on and they go on. I'm gonna have to get a little needle nose to.
Yeah.
Alright, so trying with a pair of needle nose and just spinning it like it's threaded, even though it's not threaded. It comes off, and that's this clip here. It's got like little cuts in it, but when you put it on, it's real easy. You just put it straight down on the stud. Sometimes I'll take like a socket like this that fits on, and you push it right over the stud, and you tap it down, and it holds the cable secure. So that's how the cable here stays on that stud. And now you got to take this guy off here. See if he's the same size. Yeah, and that's like a 7mm also. That's that bad boy, and then this comes up. There's the plastic clip. Oh, this is the metal clip that I was talking about. Alright, the wires get clipped in like that, and I don't even know how it gets hooked on the back of the box. Really confusing. I guess we'll be able to see it better when it comes out. So I still got this, comes right out like that, so it did slide out the back. Alright, so these are clear. This cable is clear. We could make some room. Take this glove compartment, dummy. Alright, so now we gotta try. And again, we're getting hung up on wires and shit like that. Alright, so we got another metal clip over here and another metal clip. Can you see that metal clip on the camera? Alright.
Oh, really?
So there's a whole bundle of wires running on the back of the box with these metal clips. And then I got a blue wire that is going into the back of this box. If I could bring the box down this way. There's a blue wire that runs into the bottom of the box, and there's no way. Oh, and there's also a vacuum line. So I got a vacuum line on the back side of the box. Two of them actually. Oh, that was the blue. It wasn't a wire, it was a vacuum line. Okay. So that blue one was a vacuum line that went into one of the vacuum modules on the box itself. Okay. And now we could see, this was the blue wire that I thought was a wire. Okay, it's actually a vacuum. Alright, and here's another vacuum, which they have like this weird locking feature about them. Alright, that's that one. So the blue one didn't go here. The blue one went on the side of this module, and this black one with a tan went in the middle, just in case we have to refer back. Alright, and then we got another vacuum right there on this one. So the only, oh, you know what? The only one we didn't know whether it worked or not is this vacuum one. So here, this one controls this door, and that was the door that we were looking at. Right, that was this door that we were looking at. This one's controlling that one. This vacuum one, which plugs in with this one, controls this door. So let's see if that door actually works. So how does this go? It goes this, and it locks it in. All right, start the car up. All right, put it to heat. Put it to defrost. Yep, see how it opens? It closes, see? See it? Do you see it, Robbie?
Yeah.
Does the camera see it?
Yeah.
Okay, I am holding these other two from leaking, but now we know that one works. So that's what's going to send your, you can shut it off now. Alright, so you got this one, which is going to divert your air either up into the AC vents or into this end of the box. When it gets to this end of the box, this door is going to divert the air either up to your defroster or down for your heat. And that's the way that works. So it seems like everything here works, with the exception of this doodad right here, which is the broken piece. You see how it's screwed in right there? So this is the broken piece that we need to either find a replacement for or to fab something up. Now the box itself, right, the heater core is right in here, and that's what we want to replace. And it looks like it just comes out with a couple screws.
Any rats in there?
Huh?
Any rats in there?
No rats. Just dust, a lot of dirt. All your foam is actually in decent shape. If we could find foam, you know, maybe somebody makes a rebuild kit for this. They might make a kit, you know, with all new foam pieces. We might even be able to use some hardware store foam to put new foam in. They say when you put new foam in around all the vents and everything that have foam and seal everything up, you get really great airflow. Back here is just, you know, this is here's the residual goop from the leak. You know, it's not soaking wet because we have had it disconnected for pretty much a year, right?
Yeah.
We've had no heat in the truck, so it's not soaking wet. You know, normally you would, when you took this apart, everything would be soaking wet because the antifreeze was flowing through it, but this was dry. And right here is your AC. What is that? Is that an evaporator? That's the evaporator. That's the AC evaporator. That gets replaced from the engine compartment. That's that box, the triangular shaped box that's on the engine compartment. So it looks like they've had this carpet up because this is not, I don't believe this to be original. This foil backed carpet, I don't think they used foil back carpet in '89. Foil back padding rather. Alright, so everything's out. And the truck is actually runnable like this. There shouldn't be, he's going to have these vacuum leaks in these modules, but that shouldn't affect anything. You should be able to drive it back and forth. So what we'll do is we'll get this on the table and we'll pull the heater core out, and that's pretty much the first half, which really wasn't too bad. Let's go in the backyard. All right, so yet another size, I should say. These are 1/4. And they're a real coarse thread because it's into plastic.
Oh, there's another one.
Well,
Underneath the
let's
foam.
take this foam out
Somewhere.
nice and easily. There's one down there.
Yeah. And on that side.
We got one on that side too. Oh, come on. Don't fit in that. Alright, now, before we try to break this apart, these are the clips that I was talking about. So, it's this metal clip that pops in over that groove. The wires go through here, and then it pops down like that. So, these are the metal clips that the original wires ran through. Alright, so now we got everything like that. Now, this jammy here has got to be even, right? Right? For this to come up. Right, is that correct?
Yeah.
Does this have to come off? I think this has to come off. Alright. Now, of all the research I was able to do on this, this is where people break stuff, aside from the normal. Alright, so this is supposed to be straight. It's this inside plastic piece. That's going to be like that so that this can go. That's connected somehow. I get that screw. One of these jammies. Okay, so we want to get this piece out, right? But our broken thing here isn't helping. So normally you'd have to push this. You got to disconnect this here.
No, it has to do with something in this pin.
And then
This pin has something to do with it.
this pin has something to do with
I remember the video had something to do with the pin.
it? Well, because this is.
Did you see you open that and this moves?
Yeah, but even if you disconnect this, this and this is still connected through the other side of this. You know, if you look at it in here, see how it's connected to that vacuum thing. Alright, so this, right, goes to this, which is your fresh air, inside air thing. Alright, but that has to come out, that pin. So the only way to get that pin out is to drive it out. But it's sitting in a like a pushed-in plastic thing, which I'm not too confident that it's going to last. Okay. So the pin is loose, but the plastic cracked on the inside, and it's still not all the way through because it came out one piece. This is a bitch. Poor design, GM. Very poor design here.
Just doesn't pull out?
No, because it's still in that whatever sticks it. You really can't see in there, but we'll see when we get it out. Whatever holds it in place.
It's right on the other side of this.
Yeah. Feel it?
Yeah. I'll pull it from this side.
No, pulling's not going to do it. Just, no, wiggle, because then I can't get it on the thing when you wiggle. So that's the plastic piece. I got to try to get a long punch. On my hand. Hit it. Hit it. Right. Did you record this while you were hitting it?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Alright, so that's that door. Right? That's the fresh air. That came out of here. Now, this is still connected to this, though. This is still connected to this.
Yeah, he broke that. You have to get that pin out.
Oh, wait a minute. See that screw?
Yeah.
Can you see with the camera?
Yeah.
Alright, so if we separate that off camera because you gotta hold it apart, then that should come apart. Alright. You don't have to zoom too much.
I'm not zooming at all.
Alright. We couldn't get that pin out of the broken clip on that door. So fishing my hand in here with a 5/16 inch wrench seems to be the easiest way to do it. There's got to be a better way. I bet we could get it together like this. So. See, this bolt is directly below this little cut. It's like a cutout. It almost looks like a punch out that you're supposed to maybe drill that out. Maybe that's the spot where you drill it out, and that's why that's there. I don't know. I can't imagine them thinking that far ahead. Okay, so I got the 5/16 inch screw out, so this can come out. Now, there's the screw. So now this is separated. Alright, this has got to go straight up and down, and the whole thing lifts out.
Not as dirty as I thought.
Now, that piece that we broke was on this. Is that it? That's it there. So that's this one here. So how this worked was
With the lights on?
this rod went through here and went into this, right? And was in this piece, and we were trying to knock it out. Oh, it's got a flat in it. See that? See how it's not round? So it's got a flat in it, and it was in like that. Right, which stops it from rotating. So what we need to do, so now we're banging from the other side. There's no way to put anything up to here, so we're tapping. We were tapping like this, and it cracked it right off. Like that. So this is going to have to get glued back on. It's going to have to get glued back on with some epoxy, so that we can put this piece back in. And I think that'll be okay. I think if we glue this with epoxy, we can slide this shaft back in, and that'll still be okay. What do you think? Because it's really, all it's doing is just keeping it from moving, and even if it screws up a little bit, I think we're okay. I think we're okay with this piece. Alright, so this is the dirty box that has to get cleaned. Alright, this is the side with the heater core. The heater core, as you can see, was leaking like crazy. It's got a bracket on it. And of course it ain't that size. And it ain't that size. What else we got here? Let's see if it's this size. 1/4 inch. Bracket comes up. Oh, we got another one. Holy Jesus.
Another one over here.
Okay. Alright. So you need 2 Ziploc bags, one for the parts for the box and one for the parts getting the box out. Alright, well, losing the light, it's after 6 o'clock, and over here on the East Coast it gets dark at this time of year, 6 o'clock or so. But we do have the lights on in the backyard so we could finish up. So we got that box apart, got the heater core out. broke the one part that I had a feeling we were going to break, and from the videos that I did watch online that skipped around, they all talked about breaking that same part. There is a GM part number on it. I'm going to search around, see if we could find one. If not, we'll use some epoxy or something and glue it. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal if we glue it. That's the fresh air the fresh air door thingamadicky. To be honest, you could probably leave it out and it wouldn't matter, especially on a truck like that where he's got, you know, a soft top on it all the time. He probably wouldn't even know if we left it out, and we could get everything to work. The other thing, we found the part broken. So this is like, it took less than 2 hours to get it all apart. A little bit longer because we were videoing, of course, but it's definitely a day's job. The problem is you're probably going to break something, or you're going to find something broken, especially on a truck this old. The older they are, the more brittle the plastic is. So, you know, an easy, you know, 4 hour or a long morning or something like that, you can get it done as long as there's nothing broken. The problem is something's going to be broken. So we got that broken part that we broke, and we got the broken part we found. Now we're going to search around to see if we could find replacements for it. If we can find replacements for it, great. If we can't find replacements for it, then we are going to have to fab something up, which is going to take a little bit of time. In the meantime, like I said, we're losing the light, so we're done for tonight. Tomorrow is a washout. It's supposed to rain all day. Tomorrow's Sunday, so maybe I'll just clean out the thing because the it's just filthy, dirty of dust and grit and grime, you know, of 30 years of driving and getting errands. So this is the air that you're breathing when you're in the car. It's going through all this dust before it gets to you. So clean all that stuff up, clean it up good. All those pivot points and pins, lube them up good. And then we'll be ready to put it back together when we get those other parts in and we get those times. So we'll do some research on that, and we'll make a second video on getting it all together, how we either fixed or got new parts. You know, whatever wound up happening, I'll let you know about. As far as this thing, now this is the first time we used this this Milwaukee M12, and I'm probably going to put this clip of the video in a review on this Milwaukee, but we used it for almost every bolt that we took off. It worked great. They weren't, you know, high torque bolts, so it was actually got a little light on it, which really doesn't do much. But every bolt that we took off, it was able to break free. They were all small bolts except for those 7/16 ones. Oh, look at that! Except for those 7/16 bolts that you know, went through the firewall for the heater box, and this, whatever torque this has, was enough to break it. The nice thing about this is it's really not about the torque, because you can use it like a regular ratchet. So you can spin it in, get it tight, and then use the leverage of the length of the tool just like you would a regular ratchet, because it will turn and ratchet like a regular ratchet. So pretty neat. I like it. The battery, it's a small battery and it's a short charge time. It seems to last for a while. It doesn't look like it's got a battery indicator, and it's still giving me 4 lights. It does have this battery indicator when you hit it that goes on for a couple seconds, and it's still giving me 4, which is a full battery. We'll do a complete review on it in another video, and like I said, I'll probably use this clip in that other video as well. So that's all we got today from Axel's Garage. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you liked my wordiness, because I know a lot of people complain about my wordiness, but we tried to take you through all the steps. Like I said, I've never done a heated core on a K5. This one is a computer-controlled K5, so it's an 89. So there is the computer above the heater box, you know, under the dash. The computer didn't get in the way. There is a wire harness that hangs that I kept having to move out of the way, but for the most part, it really made no difference having that computer there as opposed to the non-computer controlled vehicles. It's just when you look under the dash, it looks a lot simpler if there's no computer there. When you look under and you see the computer, you're like, oh shit, I even got more stuff. But it really didn't get in the way much at all. It's just a lot of trial and error. You know, you got to go in. Did I take enough apart? Oh no, this is in the way. Let me take this off. This is in the way. Let me take this off. I could loosen this and push it out of the way, and then it came out, and it really wasn't that big of a deal. It's just that design on that pin. You know, the pin is pushed through plastic, and you got to tap it to get it out. There's no other way to get it out than to tap it, and there's no way to get something on that plastic behind it and then the plastic just cracks. That's just the design of it. It's old, it's brittle. I think it would have cracked when it was new, to be honest with you. Just a shitty design. But that's it. That's it today from Axel's Garage. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us that thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.